Really quick. So I had to call basically the government for my job.
Call the government.
Because somebody stole our catalytic converter off the...
Is your number still 911? Alrighty then.
Here we go, everybody. This is episode number 36 of
Welcome to the command bunker.
86 Freedom First podcast.
Wait, what the fuck? This is episode 86, Grim 86?
I said episode 36.
I yelled over him.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
why.
you just yelled all over it.
Welcome to Grim 36.
So
Grim 36,
35
86
was
Yeah.
supposed to be a
episode.
shit
Yeah, who are
show.
you?
12,
What?
1914.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
for sure. That's science.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's
I'm
history,
just-
but whatever.
So should I redo that, or are we going to try?
No, let's do it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
That's just
That was
going to be the
perfect.
intro.
We
Fuck
got
it.
a bunch of numbers.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Bunch of numbers, bunch of people. I'm Crash.
And you feel it. And it feels just like a bag of sand.
Oh, yes.
I'm Johnny Doe.
You're fucking weird. I'm Kenny. What was that?
40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
Feeling
yeah.
tits.
Yep, like a bag
I-
of sand.
I don't remember that part of that movie.
That was like one of the best parts of the
That
movie.
movie really was not. I didn't.
I
really
liked
like
it.
I love that fucking movie.
That movie's great.
That movie's
I know.
great, dude.
Really
All right, well,
care
just
for
deal
it.
the cards.
Deal the fucking cards, dude. So one of my favorite parts is when the black dude and the Indian dude, they're getting into that like heated fucking argument, like they're fucking yelling at each other.
And this is the wrong sand nigga to fuck with.
Dude, yeah, that whole thing.
And I can say
And
that
then he's
'cause
like,
I am one.
then he's like, hey, so you're coming to my house tomorrow night for dinner, right? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then
Yeah,
he's like
totally like good buddies and shit. Talking hella shit. Everyone else thinks they're going to brawl, and then it's just like, all right, cool.
That little old guy's hella funny too.
Yeah, he is.
oh yeah,
He should be in more stuff.
dude. When he tells him, he's like, oh, it's okay if you're a virgin, man. How old are you? He's like 40 years old, and he's like, you gotta get that done, man.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a classic.
It is.
Yeah.
It did become a classic.
So what's up, Kenny?
Nothing much, man.
Yeah, Kenny's back again.
For another episode.
Back
Yeah.
again.
You guys have the little sideshow thing going with the imposter, the fake guy.
Aaron Danger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aaron Danger.
You know that.
He's trying to talk shit.
I'm not. I'm being cool because that's my boy, but I don't.
He's still it's
that
Kenny,
whole
so we
Danger
all
thing.
expect the shit talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Aaron Danger, that's laughable.
Yeah. Sure.
That's why we need you here, Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
It's balanced.
Yeah,
We're-
Aaron
okay,
couldn't make
so
it tonight.
just to be real, like we're not the same person.
I think they know.
Just like disguising
Obviously.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to let you
Yeah.
know, there are two Negroes on the show.
You just threw on a hat and took off your glasses
Right.
and like,
Sure.
oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
No.
come on.
Aaron,
Yeah,
we
sure.
need to do this because they don't believe us.
Right.
You know they're talking about shit. The
Yeah.
two black guys can never make
He-
it at
he-
the same time.
He had
One
prior
of them's got to go
obligations.
pick up the EBT card and whatever you think. So we got to make it happen. And I know mostly it's my fault because I have shit that always pops up. 'Cause,
Yeah, well.
you know, I'm that dude.
Yeah, but you're making a bigger attempt now, you said.
Yes.
So
For another week.
it's yeah. I'm
got-
doing it week by week.
You got one more chance, nigga. One more chance, and then it's done. And then I'm on hiatus for another 10 weeks. I won't be back to episode 55.
That's a good number
That-
too to
That's
come
pretty
back on.
much, yeah.
That checks out. That checks out. Jesus
debatable.
Christ.
Anything else you guys got?
Yeah, you guys go buy our shit. Help support this channel.
Yeah, and we always have, which we haven't been saying this on the show, is that the link below
Yes, down
is
below
gonna
somewhere
have your
in
merch
this
right there. You
general-
click it,
this
you go
general
check out
area
the
down
merch,
here.
support the podcast.
Subscribe, hit that button.
And you get a cool shirt
There's a little bell
that gets you
thing.
laid.
You hit that.
Get
Bling,
you a
bling,
black
bling.
belt.
It gets
Yes.
you. It gets you
We-
super laid.
It makes your car finish in under. Wait, what did I say?
It was
last?
like-
I was
like
trying to remember.
negative.
What?
Oh, it was a minute.
It was negative. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
minus a minute
It
off your
shaves-
quarter mile time. Is
shaves
what
a
I
minute.
said.
Yeah.
Makes your car aerodynamically more sleek.
You technically go back in time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It
You
makes
show
your
up.
car
You
DeLorean.
show up in a factory VW bus and you beat everybody.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Crazy.
you've done this.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah, I would.
I want a 24 window.
Those are badass. I used to like those.
They're super hard
Yeah.
to find.
The last one I saw, like, used to have a bumper sticker on it that said 0 to 55 in 11 minutes. I was like,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, it's accurate.
it is.
I always feel like I can't get closer to the mic because the leg is right there.
Oh, you got the table leg?
Yeah. I feel like I'm humping the table.
Yeah, maybe you are.
Give it to me.
Straddle it.
Straddle that.
All right, so that started off weird.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it started off any weirder than past
Average?
episodes.
Yeah.
So that was pretty normal. I'd
Pretty
say.
much.
So, anything new?
Nothing pressing.
Not like a barbecue that you were at all week or nothing?
Hey, is there any leftovers?
There's
leftovers?
never any leftovers.
Ah.
Yeah, we didn't do a podcast last week because Jamie had his Christmas special, 4th of July, whatever you want to
Cinco
call
de
it.
Mayo.
Everything rolled into one.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, it was-
Christmas.
Every year, my family we roast a pig for a memorial for some family friends that passed away,
Murderers.
and it's good. Yeah, usually it lasts from like Thursday to Sunday, and it's a pretty big thing. Everyone kind of camps out over at my parents' place because they got enough property for all that. And
Nice.
yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. Everyone has a pretty good time. This year we got some drone footage, so we've got like a couple of cool shots and whatnot. There's a pretty cool picture of like someone took a picture of me and then my two buddies standing next to me, and I just have the controller, but all three of us are looking up like at nothing, like it's like it's a portrait picture,
Yeah.
but like all you see is a bunch of empty sky above us. We're just looking off into
That's awesome.
staring at the sun for all you know,
Sure.
like whatever. But
Contemplating life.
yeah, it's a cool shot though. I'll show you guys later.
Nice.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Finally got back in it. Sorry about the Instagram not being very active.
Oh, yeah. Well, for the viewers that are watching, they now know why.
Yeah,
Don't let that shit happen again. I'll cut your fucking hands off. Oh, sorry.
How is that going to be productive?
Yeah, that would probably be not the thing.
Yeah, we'll just get you robot hands.
Oh, yeah.
I don't hate that. Oh, then the digitizer won't work on the phone because
I thought you wanted
they
robot
actually
legs.
make the little thing for
the little
robot. Yeah.
fingertips.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Nice try.
'Cause
I already got it thought out.
Because they're a bioelectric or whatever.
All right,
That's
give me a
fucking
knife.
badass.
Let's do it.
I thought you wanted robot legs all this time.
No, that was me.
The robot
so I could be
ears.
Tink tink.
Tink tink. Oh, poor little tink
Dude,
tink.
I want the legs from fucking what the hell was the name of that movie? They're coming out with 3. We were just talking about that. With Samuel L. Jackson was in the first one.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. I can't remember. The other day we were talking about this?
Yeah, the guy's name's Etsy that's in the movie. Is it the Golden Circle? No, the Golden Circle were the evil people in the second one.
Are you talking about
Kingsman.
Oh,
I was
that-
as
In
soon as
the
you said
first
that-
one. Yeah, in the first one, his freaking bodyguard, Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson's bodyguard.
Yeah,
had
we were
those
talking about that
blade
on
legs.
Sunday a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Dope,
okay.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
But
Gotcha.
anybody that follows
I was thinking Afro Samurai, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what are you talking
No.
about?
But the whole like tink tink thing is from stand-up bit from
Cat
Cat
Williams.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
a little tink
Well,
tink.
and
Little
Samuel Jackson's not really in the second one.
No, he's
Yeah.
not.
That
Yeah.
was why I was thinking, like,
Well, no, I kept saying Golden Circle because that was the
That
evil
was the
group
second
in the
one.
second
Bad
one.
guys,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sparks flying out of there and everything.
Right? When she like slides and then jumps up and kicks dude's head off.
Those robot dogs are stupid.
The second one was cheesy
I
as
didn't
shit.
like it. I like the first one a lot, though.
The first one was dope. The second one was just super cheesy.
Yeah.
They
It
tried
was-
to overload it with like
much.
celebrities.
It was
yeah.
over the top, but I still liked it. It was still
Because
cool.
the
Yeah.
first one wasn't over the top.
First one was over the top. Like you know what
No,
I mean?
I
But
know.
like
I
the
just-
second one was like, okay,
Super
this
over
guy's
the
got a
top.
fucking
Yeah.
whip that or a lasso, and it's all I don't
Yeah, it was a lot of bit much.
That
He
and then
uses a-
Halle Berry was in it. Sorry, horrible.
in the second one.
Yeah,
What the hell is she doing? Oh yeah, she was
Yeah,
part of the
she-
Statesman.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
she was
She's like the
with
scientist or
Channing
whatever.
Tatum or whatever, who was like
I guess.
gigging,
I don't really
dancing
remember. I
in
seen
the
it the one time.
hallway for
Yeah.
hella long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
fucking
she's the
random.
other one. Okay, I remember now who she is in there.
yeah. She was the one with him when they
Right.
were seeing the one dude who came back.
gotta save him. Where's the gel?
Well,
All right.
you guys want to go ahead and get onto this here?
Sure.
We got our first free talk of the day is. I'll go ahead and just pull it up on the monitor here.
This is definitely a story for Jamie.
No.
And a man in China went into the hospital and he had a pounding in his left ear. And he went in and the doctor looked inside, had to push through all the fucking cobwebs. It was like loaded up and there's a live spider 2 inches in his fucking ear, bro. Can you imagine that shit? Of course it was
So-
in China.
No, but this happens a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you can
there's a lot of
actually-
different bugs that get in people's ears.
Yeah, you could actually search it on YouTube.
Mhm.
I know, and I don't on purpose.
Yeah, go
What do
down
you
the
think it
rabbit
eats in there?
hole.
What do you think it eats in
Go-
there?
It
Wax.
eats earbuds.
Earbugs.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's trying to catch the other bugs that go in there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So in a way, it's good to have a spider in there.
Oh my God, no.
You know what's dope? You should watch botfly videos.
Oh, dude, oh.
We've
Those are
done
the ones that are in
before.
your skin, right?
Sleep well, Jamie.
Ah, God
Yeah.
damn it, dude. Fuck. Those I
And
hate,
it was weird because when
He's
the
over there
doctor
scratching his arm.
dude, because it makes me fucking my skin crawl just
There are
thinking
no
about it.
botflies in America. You don't have to worry.
I don't care, dude.
But
I'm thinking
when I
about,
go
now I'm
to,
thinking of that fucking frog where its babies come out of its fucking back.
Oh
and
yeah,
that's fucking
I've seen
nightmares.
that, yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing is dope. It doesn't come out. They carry them on their back. It doesn't.
No, they get birthed through.
But you have to pop them to get them out,
Yeah.
like zits.
Little
They
pops.
come out like little baby blackheads.
Little ooziness.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Fucking awesome, dude.
I gotta sing you that botfly video though. The dude has it in the back of his calf, and he comes back home
Yeah.
because
It's
they
a-
thought they got it out, but
Please
they
It's a
didn't.
robot fly because it's a bot fly, so it
Right?
like
It was
transforms
doing
into.
breakdancing. Brr, brr,
Yeah.
Jamie.
It transforms into your skin.
Jamie.
Please no.
Yeah.
I can't with that shit, dude.
Let the nightmares begin.
I'm like a teenage white girl with that stuff. I can't even. I can't even, dude.
Oh shit. Yeah. You know how they knew it was a modern spider though? It wasn't like an old school spider, because it had a spider web.
Get it? He was surfing the spider web.
He was surfing the spider web.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And he had a Bluetooth. He was talking to the dude
Yeah, sure.
in Cantonese.
Mhm. That was true.
I heard. I read that in the article there.
Yeah.
It was at
He-
the
he-
bottom- it was at the bottom of the
it
article.
was a Bay
Yeah.
Area spider. He moved to China because the prices of housing was so
Yep.
high. So
Inflation.
That's,
Yeah.
He was renting that airspace for only $2 a month. Emailing his family
$2.
back home. You won't believe the landscape here,
Mhm.
and I only pay $2 a month.
What do you think a spider does for a living? I don't have a joke for that. I'm just
He's
asking.
probably definitely manages something on the spider web.
He's a web admin.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
So,
Sure.
Web admin, IT spider.
I agree. But yeah, so Jamie really likes spiders, as you can tell.
Yeah, they're like my favorite.
We've only really talked about them a couple times on the show.
You don't? Oh, you really have
The one
a
where
thing with
there's
spiders?
jumping spiders off the walls and shit.
Yeah, no, I really don't like spiders.
Oh.
I shot a spider with a airsoft gun one time. It was big enough for me to actually shoot it. It was like a baby tarantula. Did I talk about this already?
It's a little fucking thing.
No, dude.
Right?
Like it literally would have fit like in the palm of your hand. Like it was.
It was
in
it
your
was near
mind.
him.
In your mind. And it was really one of those little tiny ones that just.
It's a daddy
Dude,
long legs.
it was big enough for me to stand from like here to the fan, and I shot it.
Yeah, fuck spiders, bro.
It was so me and my buddy were loading up our airsoft gear back when we used to play airsoft, and he's putting my gun bags into the back of his car, and he just goes, "Is that fucking real?" And I was like, "What do you like? I'm
Thought
not
it was
even
a toy
near it."
maybe or something?
Yeah.
Right.
And then he throws my gun bag on the ground, and it comes crawling out of one of the fucking mag pockets, and I was like. I was in a conundrum because it's on my gun, so I can't even shoot it, right? So I open up my pistol case, and I'm like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" Pop, blew it all over the fucking bag. It was awesome.
Sweet.
Nice. Murder.
Dude, it had to go. Too many
So once
fucking
again,
legs.
we're proving that Jamie is still murdering animals and creatures, and he doesn't love God.
I mean,
Jesus.
you're not wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that brings up a good little topic here, a little side
Yes.
topic here. The non-aggression principle does not apply to hunting or killing critters.
I agree.
We've
But
talked
they got
about this before,
those
but
too.
yeah, some people don't grasp that.
about the critters?
Yeah, so I also had somebody actually try to come on my page and try to tell me because I posted, I should have had the meme ready.
Yo, you've been beefing a lot. Wait.
Well, you got to fight for freedom, man. Basically, what happened was I posted a meme that had we talked about it for a second on I think the last podcast, but it had a girl tied up and it was a bondage video, and it
Yes.
said
Oh,
that
you
did.
one.
Yeah,
and it said that the non-aggression principle doesn't exist in the bedroom. Well, I had someone in the comments go, and everything you believe in is now destroyed, or something to that effect. And I was like, what? What are you fucking talking about? So the guy's trying to tell me and tell everyone that believes in the non-aggression principle that you can't be into bondage. Okay, well, that's a voluntary transaction. That is not rape. That is
Sometimes.
not. It's not. Well, then it's rape. So that's the whole point. So you can be into that kind of thing, or you could also use that argument on MMA, right? Like, is that violence? Like, yeah. So, but it's still mutually agreed upon voluntarily to have that.
Take punches to the face.
Sure.
And if she wants
so
to
that's
take
not violating
punches to the face,
that's not violating anything to do with the non-aggression principle. And once again, this always comes into where people start like saying shit like, "Oh, I know what this means and I know what that means," but they don't even understand the concept of it first. And I go, dude, that's pacifism is what you're fucking talking about. That's not what the non-aggression principle is. And so it's like, learn what you're fucking talking about before you do it.
Because if you want to, we can whip you, tie you up.
If you're voluntary,
Use
yes.
hot wax on you.
Yeah,
I mean,
people can do whatever they want if it's
make a
voluntary.
comment
It's
down
not
below
that. I don't.
If that's what you would like. Jamie will take care of the fellas. And,
Yeah, Jamie.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, we got to get that money somehow. Remember, we're getting your car back on the road.
It's voluntary though, right?
For somebody,
you should
it
have
will
said
be.
debatable.
For somebody, it will be.
Nice. I hella just clapped in the microphone. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
It's debatable.
We can edit that
So,
out.
anyways, yeah. So that was pretty much it. Like, if you're gonna don't like think you're like, oh, I got this all figured out because I read one little thing real fast about the non-aggression principle or I don't know, capitalism, right? And then all of a sudden I know everything about it. Like I run into this every fucking day on the internet. And I'm like, well, you're wrong. You're arguing against something that you're not even right on your argument. Like, it doesn't even.
Yeah.
It's like I'm lost. Like, I'm like, wait, that isn't even what free market is, or that isn't even what the non-aggression principle is. And then they're so eager, right? They're so eager to disprove what you believe in.
Oh, it's because they're not even listening.
Do you? Here's a good point. Here's a good question for you guys. Okay. Do you guys ever go on someone else's page and try to destroy what they think about and believe in? I don't.
Only my
I don't either.
exes, and that's only 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. From the hours of
people
10 to 2.
that have political posts or
10 to 2.
philosophy,
No, dude,
no.
I'm on there
or religion for that matter. I don't do that.
Either to like stuff, and if I don't agree with
Then you leave it alone.
I keep my opinion and
Sure.
shit to myself because it just opens a can of worms. Now, what I will do is go read your comments and see the fuckery that's going on in there because that is hilarious to see people. The sad thing is, so I follow a lot of car blogs and like pages and stuff, and we will have people arguing. Someone will post a meme about the other car company or whatever, and you will see it set off like comments, like 400 and some comments, and it's just like these two dudes just arguing back and forth, and I'm like, you guys have nothing better to do.
For me, usually once it gets around like 20, and that would be obviously usually me 5 of those, and then the other guy like 15, right? I usually leave it alone after that. Or I'll even just say, DM me, bro. I'm like, I'm not going to keep going back to this picture. Have to wait for it to go all the way, load down, and you're like, no one wants to see this shit anyways. Like, and you're not winning
like
anyways.
That in the bud. I don't even argue with people. The only person I'll say a couple comments to is to Bo. Shout out to Bo. And then he gets handled, and then it's over and done with.
Shout out to Bo.
Shout out, Bo. I hope you saw the picture I sent you on buying you that shirt, bitch.
I saw it. $20, bro.
Trying to find this fucking meme, but I can't.
$20,
I can't find it anywhere. And it was
too many comments. Which meme? The one he's talking about?
No. Well, it had to do with capitalism and like how people are they're like, oh, well,
was that Whataburger?
Yeah, it was. The picture was it was like this lady who tweeted something. Maybe it wasn't a tweet. I don't know. It was some social media thing where she wrote like, well, Blockbuster's out of business, but you can still get DVDs for free at the library. So like, capitalism zero, that type of a thing, or the state one, and then capitalism zero, and then it just showed a picture of like the Netflix homepage with all the, or not Netflix, but like Roku, and it just says laughs and streaming channels.
Right.
I thought that shit was hilarious. It's like, well, can't always be right, I guess.
Yeah, but it's just to me it's crazy. So you never do that either, right? Like someone puts a religious or political or what? Do you go on there and actually comment on it?
No, especially
it's usually
not
defending
religious.
your own post, right?
It's always in defense because especially on religious stuff.
Non-aggression principle.
Yeah, well, dude, when it comes to religious stuff, like I have tons of family members who are religious, and it's like, I could go on there just to be an asshole, but it's like, fuck, they have the right to believe in that, and who am I to fucking go on there and tell them that they're full of shit?
I just think it's funny that like even when I was a conservative-ish, I didn't really ever have that much level of, like, consistent hate. Now that it's, like, you're posting stuff that's, like, kind of in the middle of the road. It's just its own thing, anarcho-capitalist, or libertarian. Now it's like everyone. You get everyone on both sides like attacking you. And it's like I'm used to it. It's just it's weird. I've never seen that level of like trying to disprove. You know what I mean? And they're always saying like, "Oh, well, I believe in what you're saying. If it was like kumbaya and whatever, you know what I mean?" They're always like, "Oh, in a utopian world, I get it, but it's not practical. It's not. It's like."
It's not.
Your state isn't fucking practical.
It's not practical, but you paying taxes for a road that you drive on every day that isn't fixed and is fucked up, that's practical. Or someone forcing you to give your money up that you work for, because I haven't seen a government worker punch in with me one time at work. But that's practical to you? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. The people are so fucking brainwashed.
Well, I think a lot of it too is that what they're trying to say is that, oh, this is how you want that. You think the world could be like this right now, and it's like, well, no. I understand that. You look at it as a philosophy. It's a concept. It always has been. Right now, we still have to live within the constraints of the society. We say this every fucking show.
I know.
I pay sales tax on all the goods that I buy. It's fucking. I don't agree with it, but you have to do it.
It's not good enough. We need more.
Yeah, I had to pay to get my driver's license renewed. I have to pay to get car insurance. I have to pay to get my car registered. We have to do all that shit if we want to drive cars and drive on roads and be insured and all that sort of bullshit. But it's like,
I just want to be on roads where I'm not getting rock chips in my paint or windows cracked or my suspension being tore up or my front valence on my car because your road is so shitty.
Well, if we had flying cars.
Nobody wants that. You can't put fucking 22s on a flying car, nigga. What's wrong with you?
I would never put those on my car.
Give me 22s, son.
Hell no.
Hey, okay, you have to change that page because that...
I'm sorry.
You staring at that?
Yeah. Sorry. It was a picture of
those so bad.
One of my friends posted a picture of her Whataburger cup on there. So she
hate her.
Which I've never been to a Whataburger. Where she was in Texas?
Yeah, it's not here. They're in the South mainly.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Make it happen.
Near China.
Somebody needs to get a Whataburger out here in Cali.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of interesting how burger chains differ from like coast to coast. Where is Shake Shack? I hear that one's pretty good.
Yo, so it's in Palo Alto at the Stanford Shopping Center. But if you want to wait 2.5 hours to eat a burger, be my guest.
Jesus Christ!
Is it that good though?
I can't tell you because I'm not waiting that long.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Do you know how hangry I would be? The cops would be called because I'm killing.
You got to eat first and then stand in line. Then you're ready for your lunch.
Exactly. No.
Have your breakfast. Stand in line.
That's
and
brutal.
I'm sorry. I'm a fan of Five Guys, and now I found
it's on Pornhub. Look it up, guys.
At the Habit too, the Cali burger, the Santa Barbara.
It does
burger,
become
whatever.
a habit when you have Five Guys.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Nothing else satisfies quite after Five Guys.
Not like Five Guys.
Five Guys is good. I do like the Habit, but I'm still a fan of In-N-Out.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like them all. Actually, all those I like.
Fucking hate In-N-Out. Sorry.
Love it, dude. Give me that shit.
You have to eat that like right then and there. It does not transport at all. And if you get
Especially
the fries, forget it.
Yeah, he likes the fries though.
I love the
Yeah,
fries.
No, I love their fries,
I hate
but
'em.
you have to eat them there. Like you can't.
I'm a eat at the restaurant kind of guy myself usually, so I will usually eat there.
I can't. All the people.
I feel
that goes into our movie conversation.
And then I'm like, yeah, how is that you
how
can
me
do
and
that,
you
but
hate
you can't go to the movies, but you can go sit down at an In-N-Out.
I usually
nobody's
like to
clean.
sit outside.
Oh, okay,
That's
that makes
even
more sense.
worse.
Yeah, but there's not as many people.
Usually there's not as many people. I sit outside, fucking.
I sit in my car in the parking lot like a
I
creep.
sit outside so I can wear my sunglasses
Right?
and look really cool.
I sit in my car like a creep with the windows and shit down. He's like
scarfing
like
it
some
down.
fat fuck in the car by myself, just
That's
crying.
Yeah, but that's why they give you the fucking
sobbing
the box.
uncontrollably, right? With
Tom Segura, you got to watch some more Tom Segura.
Wiping your face with the wrapper.
Right? With the greasy wrapper, just like what?
Tom Segura's got that bit about how he likes his fast food restaurants with their shame to be straight up and honest. You're going to be eating in the car, you fat pig. Here, eat this out of his fucking trough.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That was a good one.
That's me every lunch break in my fucking car, just like, why am I doing that? It's fucking sad.
I'll usually so the places where I eat around my work is I'll either eat at the place or I'll eat. We have a break room at work, so I'll eat in there.
Hey, the Mexican place by your job, fire.
It's okay.
No.
Yeah.
You got to go on the weekend when everybody and their mom's in there. The cooks, I don't know what they're
What
doing.
kind of food is
fire.
it?
It's Mexican. Yeah.
tacos are subpar. The taco salad's pretty good.
I don't get. You go get tacos at a Mexican restaurant. There's like way.
A lot of people don't though.
Many other
I do,
things to get. Their menu's got like 80 things on the fucking menu.
What do you get in a Mexican restaurant other than a fucking taco, burrito? You get an enchilada. Maybe you get a wet burrito, or you get like taco salad. I'll get, but those like the only things I'll get in a Mexican restaurant.
I just get beans.
Straight up though, that's all I'll get at a Mexican restaurant. You get
you
beans
see,
with anything.
We're not even fucking touching that with him. Don't even indulge him whatsoever. Yeah, don't.
Hey, I've been the good one today.
Yeah.
You're the one all over the place.
What? All I said was the Mexican restaurant by your job is bomb. It is.
I feel like there was a lot more before the Mexican food restaurant got
I'll try.
I don't know what you're talking about. What
exactly.
happened prior to that?
I'll try more of that because I feel like
I live in the moment.
Yeah.
some of the guys will walk in with the fucking super burrito and it looks pretty good. So I'll check it. I'll give it another chance, but I don't know. After I had the tacos one time there, I was like,
But what did you get meat wise?
Carne asada.
See, that's where you fucked up.
Why is that?
Because I don't do any meats. I do seafood only at stuff like that.
Really?
If I'm gonna do like tacos or something like that, then I'm cooking the meat, and I'm like, if it's like chicken or whatever, then I cook the meat myself.
And it's scary because seafood can be the most fucked up thing for your stomach too if they don't do it right.
But it has a lower cooking temperature than like pork or red.
No,
meat
I mean
or
like
chicken.
it can fuck you up stomach wise because they'll have like old fish and whatever.
Oh, you can smell it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can always tell.
I don't know.
Like,
Seafood's always sketch out for me.
I love seafood, so
I get that on
I do
most
too. It's just sketch.
seafoods.
It's just sketch for me.
what?
I can do most seafoods. I can do sushi. I can do like lobster, shrimp, that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of like mussels or oysters or anything.
Yeah, we could tell.
But I just don't think I've had. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
I was all hella quick on that one.
Wah.
I think I haven't had any good ones. I don't think is what it is.
Any good what like
seafood?
Seafood or like mussels or
yeah.
like that
Oysters.
shit? No. Anything that's sifting the bottom of the ocean.
Anything that's slimy.
Yeah,
I'm not a
no.
huge fan of.
You crack it open and
I love shrimp,
it look
man.
like somebody sneezed inside of the
Lobster.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the shellfishes, I don't know, I can do them.
Looks
Yeah.
like
I just
looks
I
like a
don't-
loogie.
Yeah,
right?
snot.
Just shoot it real quick.
So then another one, I'm going to bring it back in here. So another one that went along with the non-aggression principle and stuff that was today was a guy's Facebook page basically posted that he had a friend, or a Facebook friend that posted, if I see these protesters on the road, I'm just going to run through them. Okay, well, first off, if they're just a bunch of protesters blocking the road, okay, get the fuck out of here. You're going to really run them over? I don't buy that. People say that shit all the
thing
time.
that cracks me up is that everybody online is a gangster. I've said this before.
Right.
When you're fucking keyboard thugging and saying all this ridiculous shit out of your mouth, like really get out of your mom's basement, wash your ass, and get a real job.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so the guy deleted him because he's like, I don't need this shit on my page, which I
Right.
totally agree with. Like, if you don't like something that someone has on your page, fuck them.
Block them,
Fuck 'em.
delete them.
Yeah,
get
you don't need them on there.
Don't-
If you really don't want to deal with that shit, just fucking get rid of them. So, anyways, he just made a post about it, right? So he says, I don't have time for this shit with people like talking about violence and whatever. So then this guy, the first comment goes like, yeah, fuck that guy, whatever, and then he goes, I hope he dies, or something. Like he said, I hope
What?
he dies, something like that. I'm like, you just said the same exact thing.
In a different way.
And then he went on to argue with me, and I kept it real easy and simple. And you could tell he was triggered as fuck, bro. And I just kept going, and then by the end, he's like, I think that people like, if you believe in like the non-aggression, which it's a libertarian thing. So if you believe in like the non-aggression principle, it's like everyone should just be like trying to promote freedom. Like, why are you and good shit, right? And I'm like, we should be trying to promote good human beings and whatever, right? And he's all, you're trying to force your morality or something on me. I said should. If you read it again, it says should. I never said you have to. It's like, it just shows you once again, it's another one of those things where people just like, they want to destroy. Even these are libertarians, by the way.
Right.
So like they're still doing that. And then a couple spaces down, another person said, "Well, this comes from ANCAPs. That's why I don't follow ANCAPs." I'm like, ANCAPs are more pro non-aggression principle than the average libertarian. So I don't even know. I was just like, okay, I'm not saying anything.
My mother said
like,
it best, that now everybody on the internet is a therapist or a fucking philosopher, or they
Right.
have some type of freaking
real world
world
experience.
experience,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. It's like,
Like, nobody wants to hear your one.
Well, and if you call someone out about something, if you just get the hair up your ass to fucking like say one thing, like that's all I did. I go, well, that's I just go like that's kind of the same thing, dude. And it was like triggered as fuck, bro.
How dare you? How
Yeah,
do you
it was awesome.
and push your values on me?
I'm like cracking up just like a couple words, and I'm like, the less words I use, the more he's gonna be triggered. I just knew it.
That's
this
like
guy,
when you're arguing with someone and they text you back with just K.
What?
So California exhaust, what's happening is there is new legislature trying to be put into place that is going to repeal the way that they enforce the aftermarket exhaust laws now. So what happened was back in March, I guess, or no, I think March is the new legislation. I think
it was January, right, when it passed?
The beginning of this year, what happened it passed was that they're making it basically, according to this article, so that you can't get fix-it tickets for having a modified or a loud exhaust, according to this article, that they just slap you with a fine immediately there and then, and you have to pay it. And if you don't want to keep getting fines, then you have to, reverse your modification on your exhaust. Well, they're trying to put new legislation in place that will repeal that. So basically, from what my understanding is that you can then get a fix-it ticket again for a modified exhaust instead of just immediately getting a fine right out the gate.
Right.
So no new laws were passed necessarily when the bill got passed. It just changed the way that they enforced it.
Enforced it. There you go.
So no more fix-it tickets of what happened, and now it looks like they're going to repeal that so that you could then get a fix-it ticket potentially.
Yeah, why are you fucking telling me I got to give you $1,000 because of my exhaust? Are you serious?
Extortion, bro.
Yeah, you don't get that.
No, that's all it is.
Here,
and
man.
like it really upsets me too with like with the car culture in California. Like there's the National Hot Rod Association,
huge
all
car
these
culture
things.
here.
Like there really is. And for them to do something like that, like I get it. Like I'm sure it probably sucks when people are driving like assholes through neighborhoods and shit. But like when I had my car, my race car, like it was only a little 4-cylinder, but it had a pretty loud exhaust on it. But I wasn't driving fucking first gear at 8,000 RPM, like going through somebody's fucking neighborhood.
Why not?
Because it's a fucking dick move.
I do that shit all the time.
I've done it before.
That's a dick
I
move.
downshift you on your heartbeat.
It was fun. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like
But it's not even that. It's just another way, like you said, for them to extort money out of something, like someone enjoying themselves.
It is, but it's like, but I also feel that had to come from people complaining about loud exhaust.
Yeah. Cool. Older people who are on these boards or in these offices that don't want you to have
all
fun
government
anymore.
Is all that.
Right.
That's all government is. It's how to control people and nanny state bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not trying to disagree with that. And
this
setup
is sick, although the strut tower.
This right
strut tower, like, what's up with that?
It looks hollow.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that setup is sick. He's twin turbo in it.
Yeah. Fucking A.
That looks like something.
Maybe he's got airbags or something in there?
I don't
like he changed it
Even if you have airbags, you still have to have the braces.
I have no idea. It's just floating there.
I don't know.
There's just no towers. The front tires are off of it right now, currently. That's a pretty good looking setup, though.
Right? That's a nice setup. I need that.
Oh, shit. Are those the fucking intakes for the turbos right there?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Just no filter, no nothing.
No, a lot of people run that now.
Dude, they just don't like their turbo, I guess.
What do you mean?
Surefire way to get a bunch of shit in the fins.
Well, no. So, like here, so you have the shroud that is probably there in front or whatever.
Should run them through the strut towers.
But that's the exhaust. That's the exhaust.
That can't be the exhaust.
It is. Trust me. That's how people are running them coming out of their hood now or directly straight out the side of the fender wells.
Okay.
The front quarters.
All right. I mean, I've seen the exhaust, but it's usually up here somewhere. I've never seen it up in the front.
No,
like
I've seen it in the front like that. On a bunch of the new cars that are like the Pro Mods and stuff that are coming out.
The intakes for these turbos must be in the front then. Down
there. They're down below.
That's fucking cool.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we can move on.
We just went all like car nerdy on here.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of.
Are those? I think they took them off. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Right as I fucking click it.
That's all right. That's all right. California's drinking water. Shit, we knew that.
Yeah, if you drink California's drinking water off the tap, you get cancer.
Apparently, you get cancer.
Yeah.
So
don't let the water get in your mouth when you're in the shower.
So real quick, because we got totally sidetracked. Basically, what we're saying about the whole non-aggression principle and capitalism and all these different titles and things that we talk about, we say this all the time on the show. We always say, Jamie, know what you believe in and why, right? So it's like if you're coming at people saying, "Oh well, it's okay to, if you're supposedly an ANCAP or a libertarian and you're saying that you're going to run over protesters, that has nothing. I mean, why would you say that? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
So you're basically making everyone else look like idiots in your party or your ideology or your philosophy. Like, you shouldn't be saying that. Now, obviously, no libertarian or ANCAP would ever say if you drove up to a protest and they start throwing bricks at you and shit, of course you're going to drive through the fucking crowd, right? Like, you're being assaulted. That's a different thing. But if it's just like peaceful protesters standing, and if they are blocking the road, they're idiots. Fuck them. But you don't go kill them. Like, that's fucking insane.
I can see joking about it, but not actually doing it. Have you seen videos of, like, I've seen protesters get nailed by cars, dude.
I have too.
Like when they're on the freeway and shit, blocking the freeway.
Yep. And when they add metal music to it, it's pretty fun to watch. I like watching it. I would never do that. Or even I wouldn't even joke about it. I ain't gonna run over nobody. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then what happens if you did do it and someone was doing some bullshit, right? Now you got some proof online that says...
Yeah, now it's preempted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you've said for years that you're going to run over protesters. Now you're doing it. Stupid
No
people.
fucking getting out of there.
But, yeah, I mean, you should always know what you believe in and why. I don't understand why it goes into the whole arguing about everything online. It's like, oh, I'm going to fuck this capitalist. Well, you don't even understand what the fuck capitalism is. So why are you fucking attacking it?
Yeah, they just want something to do. People are just fucking bored, dude.
I destroyed this guy that believes in the non-aggression principle, even though I don't understand it. Like,
I gotta start wearing a hat.
Why?
My dome is shiny as shit. Yeah,
it looks better in black and white. Don't worry.
Okay, everything looks better in black.
That's all right. I got the forehead shine going on too. That's what happens.
We greasy brothers.
That's what happens. It's that Italian. Fucking A. Do you guys want to move into topic number 1 here? The topic that's probably going to get our show banned and our channel taken down?
Hey, he looks like what's the guy from
all right, go and pull it
The
down
Sopranos?
Now. All right, so Alex Jones got banned now officially. So before, what was it? We were talking about it. He got banned off iTunes, Twitter, YouTube, and a couple other things, right? Like Spotify or something.
Yeah, I think so.
So he got banned before this off those platforms, but he was still on Instagram and Facebook. And so Alex Jones got banned from all that stuff. And here's the thing that, like, I think everyone here can agree with. Well, those are all private platforms. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's their fucking deal. However, I feel like we could still be mad about it because we want people to have freedom of speech, and we do want to have freedom of information and people to do that, which is why we say Facebook is burning the books, or Instagram or YouTube or whoever. When they destroy someone's platform and take it down, then, yeah, they're pulling a fucking Nazi card and they're destroying the books.
I mean, but I think that's exactly how free market works. Is people get mad at it, they demand a certain product from a supplier, and if they don't get it, then we rely on someone else to come up with an alternative. And it's really just unfortunate that Facebook and Instagram are like the number ones right now. So it's basically
they got a monopoly on it.
They do. I mean, it's not that we couldn't come up with our own separate one. It's
There's
just
other alternatives out there. They're just not popular.
Exactly.
Like Vero.
Yeah, that's one of them. And then I just found out about this one called DTube, and you can actually get cryptocurrency monetized that I wanted to look into as well.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks just like YouTube, actually. Okay. It's not exactly, and it doesn't operate, they were saying about it, but it looks like it.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
We really test the shit out of their servers. We just upload all our shit there at one time.
Yeah, boom.
They're like, oh, God, our servers are full.
We're over 90 videos at this point.
I'm sure they got unlimited storage or whatever, but it's just funny to talk about.
So So anyways, getting back to this, basically, like, because they're destroying these guys' platforms, they're taking everything away. It's like, well, okay, I can still be a free market capitalist and say I don't like that they're banning free speech, right? As a private entity, I don't like it. So do I think they have the right to do that? Yes, I think that any of these platforms have the right to do whatever they want, except for the fact I can still complain about it.
And that's exactly what it is, right?
Which is what Jamie was saying.
I mean, all these things are a private institution, and unfortunately, the right to free speech doesn't exist on them if the supplier of that platform doesn't want it to, and that's kind of exactly what's happening here. And
Paul Joseph Watson was another one of them, and Farrakhan was one of them too.
Right.
On this last little push here.
where they got pushed off.
Yeah,
of. So
Nation of Islam right
so
there.
they basically just went through and anybody that they felt
incited
like
violence
or hate.
So I've watched
or
plenty
of
like Alex Jones in my day and Paul Joseph Watson. The other guys, I'm looking right there. Yeah, I don't know who the other people are. I've listened to plenty of them. I've never heard them really incite violence ever. I've heard Alex Jones say, if you want to take our guns, then 1776 will commence again. And that was actually on, I think, CNN when he was being interviewed by Piers Morgan.
Right.
But, I mean, like, other than that, I haven't actually heard him say anything that's like, inciting. Like, he's not inciting violence that I've heard.
They're saying people they're far right. There's white nationalists.
Yep.
There's anti-Semitic. There's...
Well, it was like only 6 that were, like, banned or something like that, I heard. Like, completely banned. Like, you can't have anything about them on there at all. Like, you can't even as, like, you couldn't post anything on it.
Right.
I couldn't post anything on it. But then they had one of their executives come out and say that, it's okay if you post something from them as long as you're saying how they're disgusting and blah blah blah, like about that. It's like, why would you even say that? Like, people are gonna fuck with that too, right? Because you could just say, Alex Jones is so wrong about the Iraq War, and then have a like, you know what I mean? Like, you could totally get around it. Like,
he's such a douchebag for wanting us to be able to express ourselves.
And then how are they going to prove what your intent is? You know what I mean? It's like, just be honest about it and say, hey, it's gone. But see, they're open to free speech when it's hate about something that they don't like, which is free market as fuck. But it's just showing that it's hypocritical what they're doing.
There's definitely a double standard there.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll just push people to create something comparable to that.
Well, I hope what ends up happening here is people like Alex Jones and people like that, even if we don't agree with their views and stuff, that they create a platform where people can say the other things. Right. Like, freedom isn't always pretty. Like, like I said, I'm hella pro fucking free speech. I don't even believe that it's a right. I don't believe that you can even prove that it's a thing. It's always guaranteed by the government. The only place that freedom of speech even exists is in your own house, right? Because if you completely don't care what anyone says in your house, that's it.
Rephrase that, in your own house.
Yes, property.
Kids, that doesn't mean in your parents' house, because then your speech is definitely not.
Sure.
You might get your ass kicked for
property, bro.
Wrong.
Yeah, and so like we were talking about this too, that like basically rights, they don't exist. The only right that exists is property. So that you can only prove that you own yourself. You can't prove that I have a right to say whatever the fuck I want, because whenever you're out in the space, right, you're in the country. So you're falling under the country's laws. If you're in someone's house, okay, now the law is the private property owner, right? So you still don't have free speech there, because you could say one thing they don't like and they could say leave, right? So free speech doesn't really exist unless it's in your own house, or in your mind.
Or in your car.
Sure.
Which is your property.
Yeah.
Right. Well, technically.
Well, if your windows are up.
And technically, I pay registration for that, so I don't know if the government still owns it, but you guys are behind a couple car payments, so I'm going to need that money back, like, really quick.
So, yeah, it comes down to,
quickly.
It ultimately comes down to self-ownership and you being your own property. That's pretty much the core of what the libertarians believe, so... Or at least the ones that know what the fuck they're talking about.
Free speech ain't free.
And this is the same shit that we've been preaching show after show after show. And it's like if you the property right is the only right is a new thing for me, but I understood it almost immediately because like we were talking about earlier, technically if I'm outside of our command bunker here and I want to say whatever I want to say, I can, but there are, however, hate speech laws and you can be
just you're making my money.
Yeah, and disturbing the peace. There's all these laws that you could be breaking just by saying stuff that you are technically not allowed to say because the state has a right to then govern you, right? So you don't even have free speech unless you are on your own property. That sort of makes it the only right. So it took me a second to wrap my head around it.
Property is more important.
Right.
And then what's that?
I would say the exact
okay.
same thing.
Also, you can also kind of, in a weird way, I was talking to Jamie about this, is you can actually prove that by thinking that knowing that you are your own property, it actually proves that the Second Amendment, now we're talking statism for a second here, but gun rights or gun self-defense, we'll even call it, that is more important than free speech now because that's the only thing you can use to protect your property, right? So you as your own property, owning a firearm is more important than that.
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
Everything just comes full circle.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Back to give us our guns.
Fucking guns.
So what we're saying is guns.
Guns.
Pretty much guns, though.
On the next
But yeah, I mean, I challenge you
86.
guys to go and start looking into self-ownership and learn about self-ownership. There's plenty of good videos on online. There's in the non-aggression principle and voluntarism, which is involuntary transactions. But if you guys learn that stuff, then you're going to actually know what these things are and what we are, like as libertarians and anarcho-capitalists. And that way, if you don't agree with it, that's fine, but you do understand where we're coming from
And
instead of just arguing.
Don't just go read a couple things and then think you know it.
Just read the definition on Wiki,
right,
and that's it.
And then you're out spewing all kind of stuff, or you're.
I think most of the people actually just base it upon the memes that I'm throwing up there, and then it's like, okay, well, you got to kind of know what it is before you're just going to try to destroy it.
The memes are like wild examples of extremes. And so it's like people see that and like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Right.
Like, how does it relate?
That's kind of the point.
It's because you have to understand.
That's what he believes. He put it on his page.
But you have to understand like 4 or 5 core philosophies to even understand that. You know?
Yes.
Like reading it on face value, it makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Well, but they base it upon like, okay, voluntary, so it means everything's voluntary, and that's the end of it. Like they don't even like do the like.
The research.
They don't do that, but they don't even like try to even play out scenarios. So they'll ask a bunch of scenarios of us, right? Well, how do we do this? How do we do that? I don't know. Is it voluntary? No. The government makes you do it? Okay, boom. And end of story.
Then I don't like it.
It's fucking
That's
simple.
all I'm saying.
But wait. You answered my question that I asked with the other question on top of the other question.
Oh, God.
Because I wanted to cut you off with
and
another
that's
question.
and that's the other thing is I'll answer these questions in simple terms like, well, that doesn't fit voluntarism and that doesn't fit this. Oh, well, you didn't answer my question. I'm like, I just did.
Well, no, but there was another question wrapped up in
Was it
that
voluntary?
question, and it was a question bomb inside of the meaty sauce of the question I asked you. So, yeah.
There was a couple of good ones I had standing around the fire at the pig roast, and it was a couple of times where we'd all be talking and like somebody would say government, like just the word government,
Triggered.
my eyes would get all big, and like Valerie would be standing next to me, she's like, no, like you're not ruining this evening. And I got into it with one of my buddies, my buddy Chris. Shout out to Chris. He's a firefighter. He fights for Cal Fire. And like I got into it with him. Like I agree that we need you to do that job. I don't agree with how your job is funded. I'd rather it be privatized. And like he just fucking blew his mind. Like
triggered.
Right.
We had to agree to disagree on that. And the funniest shit what happened on later on down the road was we were talking around the fire again, and like him and his wife were there. Everyone's around there. We're all talking a bunch of bullshit, and somebody starts talking about butt play. And I was like, "Come on, man, get another digit in there. Live a little bit, you know, like just fucking dicking around with them." And he's like, "I feel about butt play the way you feel about taxes." And I was like, "Got it." Won't touch that again. It was some good shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
That story really stunk.
It's a stinker.
Pooper. Right in the pooper.
Pooping stinking.
I think that's fucking funny.
If you take our face value, it was
for sure.
funny.
That was a
It
good
was
one.
hilarious.
Alrighty. I was gonna say more spider videos, Jamie.
God damn it.
Spider.
So we'll do this
That'd
right
be
before
awesome.
the break here because we're coming up on an hour on this first one.
Alrighty.
Here, so.
What?
Yes, sir.
It's been an hour.
But we had like 15 minutes of
I gotta
dicking
go.
around at the beginning of this one. All right, so this is going to be
Johnny's fault.
this is our face plant
Jabberjaw.
headshot face
I don't know
plant
what you're
fail
talking about.
compilation. So here we go. Let me check this out. First one's that's why we don't fly drones in the house, kids.
Why
It would have been awesome if it bounced off his head and
why
went
is
into the
their table
fan.
Such a mess.
All right, that's what we got.
There's one. Two.
There's a watermelon.
Through a watermelon.
That was a good fucking watermelon toss.
Remember that shit? That was an ice bucket
Ice
challenge.
bucket
right?
challenge, yeah.
That was stupid.
Oh!
Fuck!
Was not expecting that.
No.
You did not see the end of that video. Oh, that is jacked up.
That was kind of fucked.
It's another one, huh?
Hella ice bucket challenges. Oh, you're dropping that shit, dude.
Oh, this person's just getting knocked the fuck out.
Oh,
He didn't even try. He didn't even try.
What the hell is that?
It's probably got the ice in it. He's just going to hit her with the ice.
He's probably going to hit her with the pan or the pot. Ooh.
He got juked so hard he got knocked
Right?
out.
This right here is going to hurt.
Yes.
Good thing he had glasses on.
I could see Andy from episode 5 doing that. Aw, poor little kid. He's going to fall right over it.
He's going to go down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe not.
No.
Oh, he's going to kick it into him. Boo!
Oh. Kids getting hurt.
Oh, that's messed up.
I love that channel.
Oh, it had the lid on it even. Like, why?
Oh, fuck, look at this shit.
Hey, this is
gonna kill him.
Die. Yeah, what is he doing?
I think it's an ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's going to fucking nail
The
him. in
teeth
head.
are going to
He's gonna
tag
hit
him.
him, right?
Yeah, it's going to fucking nail him.
Oh! He's dead.
He hit the wrong button.
He is
He
dead.
definitely hit the wrong button.
The drone's attacking the kid.
Dude, that was a fucking...
Dude,
that's
that was
stitches
brutal,
in the head,
bro.
at least.
Oh, fuck.
God damn.
Oh,
dude, he got
knockout,
fucking
dude.
worked.
Bite.
Go.
Someone's going to get nailed right here.
Door's going to open.
That was not that
That was
good.
dumb.
That was bored.
Wah, wah.
All right, we're going to do one more good one here, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it.
I'm flashing back to being on Camden.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at her look at it like,
No.
Fuck.
All right.
All right, that was pretty
Dude, the tractor one, though, right?
good. That was
That was
gnarly.
the one,
I
yeah.
think he killed that kid.
Yeah, poor kid. Rip.
I mean,
R.I.P.
you got to lift that shit up like 4 stories
Oh, yeah.
before I'm getting underneath something like that.
I honestly
First
thought
of
what was
all,
going to happen is that one of the teeth were going to
I
tag him.
wouldn't have gotten underneath that.
Well, yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, I'm just saying, best case scenario.
Yeah.
Way fucking higher.
Best out of the bad
couple
case.
32 ounces and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
They
of
needed
beers
more
in.
beer, and they would have
Right.
Yeah.
nailed that shit.
Yeah, that would have been pretty
Yeah.
good. All right, cool. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll
2
be
and
back
2.
in a little bit.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Cool. All right, folks, we're back.
Yeah.
Second half. We're going to go and do our shout-outs first.
I'll start. Shout out to Without Rulers on Instagram. Check him out. He's got a great fucking page. He's got a Facebook. Check those out. He's got his own little website link to all that, so it's pretty badass. Got a lot of information and a lot of other ANCAP and libertarian and capitalist kind of like philosophies and speakers on like video, like short little video edits and stuff. He's got a lot of that stuff out there. A few memes here and there, but check him out. I really recommend it. Withoutrulers.co on Instagram is probably the best way to get him, or you can find him on the Facebook. Also,
and that is the website too, right? You can go to
yeah, I think that is his
withoutrulers.co.
website. Yeah, I've only been to his website once actually, but it
quick
has
double
like
check on that.
it has a cool little like link where you can go to all these different things. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out.
Yeah, you can. So withoutrulers.co.
You want to pull it up real fast? Just throw it up there real quick, just so they can see it at home.
Sure, we might as well, right?
So this is what it looks like on his actual webpage. I've only actually seen that once. So
Ooh.
you
That's
just
not what I
switched.
meant to do. Let me see.
What?
Trying to get all fancy with the controls.
Yeah, I'm trying to like fucking
Multitask.
use my goddamn
yeah.
hotkeys here. Let's see. Where's my fucking mouse? There it is. Okay, yeah, it's up. There it is.
All right, there you go. So now you see what it looks like. Check it out. And that is, what is it? His actual address on there.
It is withoutrulers.co. It redirects to .com, so you can just go to .co.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, check that shit
Nice.
out. It's fucking badass. Also, I talked to a guy on Instagram, and he has a channel, and he on Instagram, Libertarian Snake, like the reptile. So Libertarian Snake, check it out. He's got cool little short videos on YouTube also. So he also has to go there and subscribe. He's got little short videos about different things that are like real simple, like for instance the police or the military or something, or capitalism or something. You can click on there, watch it. The videos I believe are like within a 5-minute to 8-minute or something like that window.
That's
so they're
way
not
too
they're,
long.
They're not too.
Oh my god.
They're
My
not 2-hour podcasts. So
my ADD is kicking in.
yeah, so check them out, Libertarian Snake.
What?
And
What was that?
shout out to Kenny for being here.
What?
Yeah, shout out Kenny.
Shout out to Chris. Shout out to
Yeah.
Andy from episode number 5. Shout out to Aaron
Hey.
Danger. Shout out to Jamie for being here.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Stevens.
Yeah,
What
both
up,
Stevens and
Stevens?
John.
Yeah. Shout out to Valerie. Still watches the show. Misty and Todd watch the show.
Congratulations.
Ashley and Chase watch the show, I think. Haven't heard much from them or about them from
Are
you
they-
guys
are they
in a
okay?
while. So, yeah, I mean, I would
If you
assume
guys
so.
are okay, please comment and let us know you're
Yeah,
okay.
if you still watch the
Yeah.
show, let us know.
Mark yourself
If you're
safe
alive.
from this show.
Shout out to Joel. He watches the show religiously. So what up to you, and thanks for watching.
There we go.
Who's Joel?
We need people like
Oh, hey, what's up, dude? I know that guy.
Yeah,
Cool.
he watches the show always, and when I send him a video link, he's always like, "Yeah, it's a new show."
I moved
Nice.
closer to
He's
you.
excited. That's okay.
I couldn't straddle that fucking thing
Yeah.
anymore.
that. It's all good.
Any shout outs for you, Kenny?
Shout out
to Dan, your cousin.
Yeah, shout out to my cousin Dan. Shout out to Arcel, Adrian, Mike. Let's see who else.
Shout out to Mike and Broken Armory. Check them
yeah.
out with some 80% lowers. Check them out.
Yeah.
Is
Support
it
your Second Amendment.
brokenarmory.com?
BrokenArmory.com, right? That's
Go
what it
check
is.
it out.
Yeah.
Yep. Support your local.
Yeah. So you guys looking for
Machine
80%?
shop.
Go look for that bad boy out there.
brokenarmory.com.
There it is. Cool. That's all I got for free talk or free shout outs.
Free shout
Free shout out.
Free shout outs, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
shout out.
want to get a paid shout out,
Yeah.
please
Those
comment
are-
below.
Those are whole other shout outs. You
Right.
get like the Vuvuzuela and everything.
Yeah.
You get
Blumpkin.
visuals with it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, you get sound. You get a sound effect.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how much you
Sure.
wanna
How
throw
much cheddar?
If you want the VIP package,
Yeah.
we personally come and shoot with you your shout out.
Yeah. All right.
Details will
That'd
be in
fucking
description below.
badass.
Yeah, because we'd like to get a lot of other sponsors and people like checking us out and like
We
kind
need
of
to
help
set up like
pushing
a
the word of
barbecue or
freedom.
something.
Yeah, we do. Well, we're coming up right here on the year anniversary of our podcast, so I think
I know
we should
that's
throw
crazy.
a little thing and invite some of our
In a
freedom
public
fighters.
place, though.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we'll talk
Or we
about.
can just do
That's
it
another
here,
thing we need to
man.
talk.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll
needs
do it
to-
live.
it needs to
Yeah,
be
because
in a-
right now the only
in a
person
public
sponsoring
place.
us is Bruce Wayne.
And that nigga broke. We got the broke Bruce.
Yeah, he is.
Unfortunately.
His pockets have been turned out by Harley Quinn and the Catwoman. So Bruce Wayne
Quit
is
running
broke,
around, Bruce Wayne.
right? Too much catnip. He recovering. We got the recovering Bruce Wayne pockets right now. So please come help support the
dude.
channel.
I've been
Please buy something.
I've been hella digging that fucking Batman from the fucking Batman versus Superman where he's in the future, the apocalypse.
Dude, that one,
Dude,
'cause that's
I'm like-
based on the Dark Detective. Yeah,
I
that
got
one's
to
dope.
get some of that shit.
Where he's got the goggles.
Yeah.
He said this is
Yeah.
in 1911.
He's got
Right,
guns,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate Batman.
That was really
Yeah,
cool.
I love that one.
Batman doesn't use guns.
Hashtag fuck Superman.
That was fucking sweet.
Hashtag false god.
All right, so let's do this here. We're going to talk a little bit about
Spiders.
spiders.
More spiders for
Sorry,
Jamie.
Jamie.
What we've got
Hey, did
is
you ever watch Arachnophobia?
yeah, in 1987 when it came out, I guess. Or
You weren't even born then.
yes, I was. I was 2.
I said I was 2.
8-legged freaks, bro.
I was slinging drugs in Costa Rica in '87 back on the
Oh,
ship
here we go
with
again.
my cousin Diana. Yeah, we had a shrimp boat.
Wow, you just went Forrest Gump on that shit. Like, all right, I think we need to move along here.
All right.
Yeah.
So what we've got is there's recently what happened was it was a situation of excessive force that we think used by the police. We're gonna go ahead and play this like a 2-minute video for you here. You can kind of see, judge for yourself, and then after that we're gonna talk a little bit about private sector security. So here we go with this.
When officers pulled over a driver who ended up having a suspended registration and whose car was going to be towed. The traffic stop quickly escalated when several angry family members showed up to the scene.
Well, if he said he had it, like he's not even driving.
Right.
First of all, it's
Fake
a
news.
falsehood. It was a girl whose
Right.
car it
Video
was. Her
shows
registration
officers
was out of
explaining to the
date for
passengers in the car
$14.
that they need to take a seat in
And
the
her
back
mom
of the
actually had
patrol
paid
car,
it.
so
But what they
officers
do
can
to
take
this
an
girl is
inventory of what's in the
fucking
car
horrible.
before
Yeah.
impounding it. Moments
Well,
later,
so-
another car shows up at the scene,
Which is her
and two
mom.
family
I'm just gonna
members
pause
get
it real
out,
quick here.
recording
Yeah.
So I watched 2 different videos from 2 different news networks, and one of them super sides with the victim, and this one super sides with the state.
Yep.
And it's like it's bullshit how the 2 different news outlets can kind of go back and forth.
crazy.
I'm your puppet master.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But
Which
that's
one's?
exactly what it is, though. If I just watched this one, I'd have been like, well, they should have fucking been following the law.
Right.
Even though I don't agree with
Yeah,
the law,
right.
they
Yeah.
should have been following it. But
Yeah.
the other one is like, wow, that was kind of fucked up. And like how whatever reason that car came up as not being registered after it had already been paid doesn't make any sense, because as soon as you pay it, it automatically gets sent to the DMV, and the records that get accessed by the CHP or whoever, or it's probably not in California, obviously, but
It's in Rio Vista.
it is California.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is the CHP.
So, like, check I don't think it was a CHP. I think it was just the Rio Vista Police Department because CHP uniforms are tan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are. They're not all tan.
Yeah.
No, it was local PD.
It was
I'm pretty
local
sure,
PD.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, they pull their records directly from the DMV. So here, we'll go ahead and just play the rest of it.
With
You
their
could
cell
kinda tell.
phones.
Watch the
That's
video.
when one of the officers asks Cherish Thomas to get back in her car.
Don't come close to me.
Okay.
You ain't coming over by our cars right now.
I'm not biting you.
You can stay away. Word. Okay. You need to go this way.
First of all, so now you're
Back up.
no,
Back up.
no,
Back up.
no. Get him off my daughter. Get him off my daughter now.
Here's another look at it. You can see the officer taking Thomas down to the ground from the other officer's perspective. A short time later, a third car shows up on the scene with 2 more family members who police say were being uncooperative.
This
Well,
car's getting
duh.
towed. Yes, it is. This car's getting
They
towed.
threw her phone out of her
You
hand
need to stay over
first.
there.
Don't touch me because I didn't touch you.
Okay, you in the street and you need to go.
Authorities tell us they called for backup from the Solano and Sacramento County Sheriff's offices because of the number of people not following commands. We sat down with Thomas and her mother last night, who said they just wanted to record everything on their cell phones for transparency.
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, because at the end of the day, that's the police officer, and they can do what they want to do.
Thomas said she suffered minor
fucking
injuries
exactly
during
what it
the
is.
arrest, and her family says they'd like to see the officer fired. Well, police
Yeah.
tell us that
Pause
Thomas
it really
and 3
quick.
other people
It's
ended
over.
up being
That's
arrested.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. They just say, "Oh, somebody got arrested," but
Mind you, she's only 17.
I heard that she only
Really?
weighed.
Yep.
I think she weighed 120.
Yeah.
That was it.
She's only 17 years old.
dude, that's terrifying to me that she at 17 years old already understands that the police officer can do whatever they want.
course.
There's
Right.
nothing I can do to stop it.
Yeah, of course. She
That
knows.
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That was a blatant excessive force in my opinion.
Easily.
There was no need for that
What
at
threat
all.
did a 120-pound woman pose to you,
Yeah.
and you're in full body armor or body, protective
Yeah, he's
gear,
kitted
you have
up.
a gun,
Yeah.
you have a taser or whatever, that you needed to pick her up and fully use
Well,
your
he
full power to
threw
slam
her
her
phone
to the
out of her
ground.
hand first,
Right.
and then
Wrapped
she
her up.
pushed back because
Right.
obviously, and then he fucking dumped her. So yeah, I don't know.
Initiating contact.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when we watched, me and Jamie were watching the other video, they had way more angles. They had all these other. It wasn't just the stupid body cam.
Yeah.
So obviously, this is definitely a statist fucking run.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Channel that
KCRA, Costa
Yeah, so
Rica's
this
number
is
one news station.
Definitely the one that's trying to make it look like
Oh, yeah.
it was all their fault.
Because you can go on Twitter and actually see the different. I watched it.
I saw
earlier
tons of
today.
the other
Yeah.
video had all cell phone footage and all kinds
Right.
of shit. It was legit. Every member of that family was out there with phones in the street.
And even the second cop, right there where it showed him kind of tussling with the mom. For those of you that don't know, that means pushing back and forth. Even he was like, I am gonna get him off her. Just I need you to calm down. He's like, I understand, but I need you to calm down. And she chilled out and calmed down. And he literally went over there and yanked his partner off her and was like, dude.
Yeah,
what
well,
are you
that guy
doing?
did his job. He was
Right.
dealing. So the second cop, he was actually doing his job. He was doing the best he could. At least when I watched it, he was doing the best he
Right.
could out of what was going on. Or the other one that initiated everything, yeah, you could tell he's a hothead.
Yeah.
And you can't turn your back to the lady when she's being like
No,
that.
no, you can't.
So yeah, you have to deal with one threat at a
Right.
time if you want to even call it a threat.
Right.
Really.
Right. Well, it's possible. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
they need to make the psych eval for police officers. You have to it should be more strenuous. And if you were ever bullied or had anything as a kid growing up, that if you're on a power trip, you should automatically be disqualified. From
I just feel like anyone that is going to work for the cops, the police departments or anything like that, eventually you're going to run into that whole authority trip because you're just dealing with people all the fucking time, and then eventually you're gonna.
you get jaded.
Yeah, you're gonna get exactly
because your job is you deal with basically 90% of your job is dealing with the scum of society.
Well, and then
most of the
then
time.
on top of that they have the main thing actually is that they have authority on their side.
Right.
They can get away with doing whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly.
Really,
Like
you
she
know what I
said.
mean?
Right.
Yeah. So this guy might get punished or whatever, but how many times they aren't recorded?
Right.
And they get away with that shit all the fucking time. So, yeah,
Fucking
it
brutal.
sucks, man. It sucks that kind of stuff has
Legalize
to happen.
gangbang.
And and then to be fair is if you're dealing with the cops on their end of it, it's You don't keep walking up into their business like whenever I've been pulled over or whatever I've dealt with them out in public or at the bar situations and stuff where we used to work. It's like you stay back and you let them do their thing, and then you interact with them when it's your turn.
When everybody's like calm
yeah,
down.
so
Right.
everyone walking up and stuff, they did create an environment. You know, to be fair, they did create an environment.
Well,
in my
once
opinion.
you start getting multiple vehicles,
but you don't
situations.
well, yeah, but when she got slammed, the third vehicle wasn't there yet.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying, but even when they stopped,
right?
Because as an officer, you're like, well, why the hell is this car stopping?
Well,
Because they don't know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Well,
then you jump out of the car and you're like,
first of
running
all,
up.
too, like, I've never been in a situation where, well, okay, I'm also white. I've never been in a situation where I felt I needed to call my family members when I'm being pulled up. Multiple cars full of family members to pull up while I'm being pulled over.
Yeah, but they're dealing, and I'm speaking for them, but they're dealing with the community where they've had to deal with this kind of shit a lot, right?
No, I meant
immediately.
I mean on the civilian side. Right. I've never been pulled over and been like, oh shit, I need you guys to get down here, and then another car.
You haven't had to do that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let me speak.
That's a whole nother fucking thing.
Yeah, I've been pulled over, and it's not a fun experience. But one, I would never call my family members to be like,
well, because you're smart. You know
Yeah.
that you're just making it worse.
yeah, there was some wrongs on both sides,
Sure.
but the excessive force
Yeah,
was unnecessary.
it wasn't justified to slam.
Yeah, that trumps everything they did.
And to
wrong.
throw her phone out of her hand.
Right.
Like that. How,
That's her personal property.
Right.
You have no right to slap it out of her hand or whatever because she's videotaping you, which she has a right to do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's take a look at ideally what police could be if we ended up privatizing it here. This video is fucking badass.
Yeah. And this is just one.
I want that headquarters.
All right, VIPERS stands for Violence Intervention Protective Emergency Response System. You are trained as bodyguards. You're trained to make sure that people stay safe. This is the purpose of our organization for over 20 years. This is what we do.
For well over a decade, Detroit has been struggling with retaining their cops. In response, an avalanche of private security companies have rushed in.
So
The
an
reason why you're
avalanche.
dressed like this
So
is
a
to be
bunch.
very, very psychologically impressive. So when they see how you're dressed, they think you're serious because you are serious.
After the city filed for bankruptcy in 2013, budget and pay cuts have pushed cops towards better paying police work outside of the city.
Clear! Clear, sir! All right, that was excellent. What you're seeing is the beginning of an entire new industry, which is threat management services. We are literally leading the way in a paradigm shift in safe, public, and corporate protection. My right leg went out, my right hand goes up. 2, 3. This is our tactical training facility. This is called the grid. This is where we store our vehicles. This is our tactical boat.
Look at that boat, bro.
These are our motorcycles. These motorcycles allow us to get to situations very quickly. This custom boat allows us to get into shallow water. It's also very fun and jumps over waves, and people enjoy riding in it.
Dale Brown, an ex-Army paratrooper, began teaching his own brand of self-defense in the early 90s. He started his own security company in 2000.
So this is a Detroit fair fight, 4-on-1. Keep your knees bent.
Brown says his 60-person Viper force has
fair
more than
fight.
5,000
4-on-1.
private citizens as clients, along with 100 businesses. Altogether, the company brings in about $2 million a year.
This is a community that pays us to protect their community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No home invasions, no murders, no rapes, and no armed robberies whatsoever have been done here. So police use law enforcement, and what we do is use bodyguarding tactics to prevent predation. Our goal is to create conditions where violence does not occur. We deter violent
pause it for a
criminal behavior
yeah.
by projecting.
So a good point here too is when you guys are all like, everyone's like, oh, well, what about the cops? How do we, it's like, okay, well, this is a good answer right here. And what they're doing is they're enforcing the major issues, right? They're being preventative in the sense of like having a good visual deterrent, right? Which we've talked about as being, good for your own safety and everything before. And then also that they're only really dealing with things that are like theft, murder, rape, and protection overall from all that stuff.
Right.
Loss of property, right? So that is what we would want in an ideal society, and that's what we always talk about. Where you saw in the other video, the state, right, was going after people because of a stupid
sticker.
Yeah, a sticker, right, on your car.
Right.
Like, so these guys wouldn't be doing that, right? So in a free society, they'd be doing this stuff.
Exactly.
All right, Jamie, go ahead and hit.
So just real quick,
Yeah.
that's if it's $2 million a year.
Yeah.
So that would be, if that were a single agency, that's $167,000 a month, which is then $41,666 a week. So if you can imagine that paid out to the fucking 9 people it looked like he had working for him, holy shit.
Yeah, and I'm sure he has other stuff going too.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Acting strength. So our
I think that was
vehicles
all
have
of
all
them,
white
too.
strobe lights. Our vehicles are black and chrome. There's a strong sense that there is a strong organization that's protecting these people. And then we speak to people very respectfully.
You have any weapons on you right now? Okay. Walk with me over here, please.
And so we have all these different ways of showing that this is
That's from
just not a good
2015,
place,
that footage.
to be a predator.
He's been around
And
since
it's all
2000 because
nonviolent.
Detroit's been
And we're
bankrupt for a
growing.
while.
So more and more people
Yeah, he said 20
they want us
years.
in their communities.
I think in areas in Detroit where you have these very affluent communities right in the heart of the ghetto, if you will, more and more people are utilizing services like threat management. They've shown up whenever I've called them, and in fact, their response time is so much greater than the Detroit Police Department that without them, I would not be as comfortable.
So you guys could check it out. It's on Vice, so.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
Yeah.
tight. This is the Facebook narc shit right here. I'm going to talk about spying on people.
Yeah. So when you hear, the first thing that always comes to mind when we talk about spying, right? Like whenever the government has access to spying on you, like the first thing that comes to mind is when you hear someone say, well, I have nothing to hide, so I don't care if they spy on me. Now, what could possibly be the dumb reason why someone says that statement? Well, one, I would say, is that they've heard it before, so they're just paying lip service to what they've heard before. You know what I mean? Like they're repeating whatever it is back.
Regurgitating crap.
Right, exactly, which is statism propaganda. And then two, they just don't really even, they're not thinking at all, right? They're either indoctrinated and repeating stuff, or they're not thinking, or both. They're not thinking at all. Like if you have something that is legal today that you like, so it could be firearms, it could be weed, it could be whatever, it could be a political view on something, right? Tomorrow, if the government changes their mind, now you're a criminal, now they're already spying on you, and you're okay with that still? So they're not open-mindedly thinking about it. They're not like objectively thinking about it. And that's the fucking problem. That I hear this all the time. I'll post something about don't spy on me, bro, or something like that, and then I'll get someone every time, like one person, I got nothing to hide, so I don't care. Like,
well, I do. My personal information. I don't need you selling it off to a third-party company,
right?
Or
But
someone else coming in.
Yeah, and that would be on the private end of it,
Right.
right? Now on the public end of it, the government end of it, it's like, why would you want a government to spy on you at all? Like,
I don't want a government, period.
It's completely crazy to me
Right.
that even anyone would even just
Why do I need to be
say that?
governed?
Even if they just heard that from like somebody, it kind of made sense to them. It's at the moment, it's like you didn't even just like critically think about what you're saying. You just regurgitate it.
Well, they don't think of it's the principle of it. It's the reason why I don't want anyone to be able to spy on me is not because I necessarily have something to hide, but because to me it's morally wrong. What I say inside of my property should be my intellectual property, right? So I should own that. Nobody else should have access to it unless I give it to them. So that's kind of where I stand on that.
Right. And it's like, what else? Like, okay, say you were doing some hobby or something, right? And you're selling something or doing something, and then the next day they go, okay, well, that is now illegal. You know, like even to cut people's hair, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you were doing that and the government was spying on you and heard that, and you don't have your barber's license or whatever, right?
Correct.
Your
you don't, right? Yeah, or whatever, right? You don't have that now that they're spying on you. You're not thinking of it as a big bad thing, right? As you're doing it, because you're just like, yeah, I'll hook you up, I'll cut your hair, no problem. You're my friend. Well, now they can come in and be like, did you get compensated for
You're
that?
You're running a business.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's our cut?
So, I mean, it could be something as simple as that. Like, you know what I mean?
So let's break down to how we're talking. They're collecting this data. We're talking about stuff like through your cell phones, through all of our
Email.
Google and Alexa, email. There's one article right here too that actually shows that what Facebook has been doing with some like teens and young adults is they're actually installing some software on their phone and paying them to let them have that software on there, and it actually opens up a VPN. Which is a virtual private network that will then track their email data, their web data, their messenger data, and it sells it to this VPN as a some type of a project. So now they basically have access to all that data, and because they're being compensated for it, it's seen as voluntary. So it's it's kind of scary that they're getting all of this like unfettered access to data, according to this article, almost unfettered.
Mm-hmm. And they're also one other one is they're scooping it up through their microphone.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
which we talked about on one of our last shows. So
microphones,
when you're just talking about
your smart home voice activated devices, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a bill that's being created right now that companies have to pay you for your personal data to sell off your personal data. Like if they collect, if like your Facebook collects something, or your cell phone hears you talking about kittens or whatever, and then you get a bunch of ads about kittens.
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about, even though that was what this story is about, I'm more concerned about the government end of it.
Right.
I'm not really as concerned about this.
No,
this is more of an annoyance.
But even to the government for them to have that information.
Well, and then there's the other end of it. They work hand in hand.
Right.
Yeah. Who do you think they're going to sell it to?
Right. Well,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. But like, what else could it be? Like, so, okay, maybe you like to smoke cigarettes, and then they outlaw it, and then you're talking about like how you get a cigarette after that,
Right.
like, or you drink, and then they outlaw alcohol. You know what I mean? Like
again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then you're in your home, and you're like, this alcohol sure is good, and they're like, oh, we got him.
Or like, for instance, here's a good one. Like you're a firearm owner, and then they outlaw magazines, which we've experienced here in California in the past, and now all of a sudden you're a felon.
Right.
Like, okay, so now you don't want to be talking about that crap on your phone, so now you're being spied on, right? And now they know what you have. Like, they can go back and look at, so if it wasn't outlawed at the time you were talking about it, and it's I don't really care if they spy on me. Then all of a sudden they make it outlawed. Well, now they can go and look at all the shit you have.
Do you care now?
Yeah. So that's why it's the stupidest thing that I've ever heard when people say, I don't care if the government spies on me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
What if it's just butt sex? Like, what? What? Who cares, right? Like, if they outlaw it, and it is actually outlawed in a lot of places. But like, what if that's the thing? Like, you don't know what it is, or maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you're gay, and you're talking about being gay, and you're open with it and everything, and then some asshole gets into office and makes it outlawed.
Yeah.
Now they can go back. So this can be any fucking thing. Anything. Like, you're not allowed to spit on the ground. Oh, today I spit on the ground. Fuck the government. Boom.
That's actually against.
Yeah, but I mean,
show up on your fucking doorstep with guns.
Yeah, it's something stupid, right? It
guns
can be anything
that you can't have, but they can.
Yeah. And then ultimately, what all that is always ultimately what laws, and that's always government, and that's statism, and then it gets into that whole mess where anytime there's a law, what you're asking when you want a law or you don't care that there's a law is you're asking for men with guns to come and put you in jail.
Prime example, the gas tax. That everybody's bitching and moaning about the gas prices being crazy. Well, it was on the bill, on the ballot for you to vote against it, and people didn't read it right and voted the wrong way.
Yeah, it was worded that way on
everybody's
purpose.
fucking crying about gas being $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
Which it is right now, which is ridiculous.
They literally voted for it.
My car is fucking breaking me right now.
Yeah, shit. My little Mazda out there, dude. I fucking filled up my tank and it was like $52. It's never been that high before.
Jesus.
Yeah. Just right in
Yeah.
there.
I stopped at $71 the other day, and it wasn't even a half a tank. I was.
And you got to buy 91, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those days.
I was all, ugh.
Yeah. So you guys got anything else about the spying and stuff? Or?
Well, so I wanted to elaborate more on the laws thing, and it is what you're saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand why we take it to the extreme of if you support a law or that you support men come into your house with guns to take you and put you in a cage, right? And it's because what happens if you don't obey a law? Yeah, okay, you can argue that sometimes you can be fined or that you can be cited or something
But then
like
it's
that.
easy because you just go, what happens if you don't pay it?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
ultimately, it ends to jail.
Yeah. So
and if you resist, death.
That's exactly. So that's the reason why we always take it to that extreme. I just felt that we needed to shine a little light on that because they're like, what do you mean? Like it just laws means jail, and it's like, well, because if you don't pay them, if there's no way to unsubscribe to it, it ultimately means force, and to us, force is wrong.
So just by what you were saying though, like keeping it a simple way that you were just saying is like if we just say laws mean jail or death, right?
Yeah.
Like if we say it like that, it's the same concept of. I don't think that it's wrong for the government to spy on me because I have nothing to hide. It's like, well, just when someone says something, think about what they're actually saying, right? So it's a total opposite view, but what I'm saying, it's the same kind of statement. When someone's saying something like that, listen to what they're saying and then go, okay, do they understand what they're talking about? Okay, well, if the guy just said that all laws are jail, well, how could that mean? Okay, yeah, you go to jail if you break the law. Okay, if you resist, okay, someone might get shot, right? So, okay, so it makes sense. And then the whole same thing with the government spying on you, right? If you have nothing to hide, well, let's see, maybe I might have something to hide down the road. What if they suppress my freedoms of all speech? Like I can only just talk normal about ordering food and things like that. I can't have any political views or anything. Well, there you go. There's another one, right? Anything can happen. Like no one thought like half the shit was going to happen when Obama got in there. No one on one side of the aisle. And then when Trump got on there on the other side of the aisle, no one thought a lot of those things were going to happen. Things can change every day.
Yeah, and you never know. That's why I wanted to talk about the laws thing too, is because we're talking about the exhaust earlier, and to sort of tie into that, they have this law now where if you are caught watching a sideshow, even watching it, being in the crowd watching it now.
Well, let's tell them what a sideshow is real quick.
Okay, so
some people might not know.
Yeah, sideshow is a car show, but
and
it's
not
an
the
illegal
Grim
car
86
show.
sideshow.
It's an illegal car show, generally involved in all four corners of an intersection. They're doing burnouts and stuff like that, and it's usually a huge crowd.
Right.
It's a party basically,
right.
But they block the whole intersection. Everyone's just ripping burnouts in the street. I mean, it's illegal. It can be potentially dangerous. But now, even if you are standing on the sidelines, you're not even breaking traffic laws. You're not even breaking any law. Really,
maybe you were just walking by and you just stopped and wanted to watch it.
You're just standing there because
you're like, what the fuck is this?
It's a fucking ruckus, right?
Right.
Now
you're now liable for the actions of the drivers.
Yeah, and that's just because now that's a law.
And here's the crazy part: if your car happens to be in the vicinity, they can impound your vehicle.
That's fucking nuts, dude. And they even go so far as nowadays they use like FLIR,
drones, FLIR, yeah,
like which is that forward-looking infrared. They have thermal cameras. They can actually just aim it at your car.
I've seen a lot of videos where they're watching the sideshows from a chopper, or a drone,
and you see the tire marks lighting up and stuff. Yes, it's fucking crazy. They're using all this technology to bust people, and it's like, fuck, man, like that's some military grade shit. The cops have thermal technology where they just look at your fucking muffler and it's over 700 degrees. You must have been doing this shit.
Right.
Like,
right, yeah.
I just got off the freeway. Like, you know what I mean? You don't fucking know.
Well, and I think that brings up a big point. Like, why would you want the government to have that kind of power? So just on the same thing of like, well, I don't care. I got nothing to hide. Why the fuck would you want to let them have that power over you?
Yeah.
Why do you just write it off like it's no fucking big deal?
Because you're sheep.
And usually the ones that are saying that are usually more conservatives who love the founding fathers and all that shit, and it's like, well, if you did, you would know that the founding fathers wouldn't want that, and they'd be, causing a ruckus right about now.
They'd be showing it up. Ben Franklin whipping a thing,
exactly.
Whipping a carriage,
right? For real.
Yeah, they're thang, as they say on the streets.
Exactly, and you notice the police are more militarized than ever before.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I want some of their gear.
Well, sure.
Yeah, so do I. Jesus Christ. This right here.
All right, Kenny.
Look at this lady.
Wow, we got a winner, folks.
What a piece
of
work.
So apparently this lady will receive no jail time for trying to drown her newborn in the toilet at her job, which is McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she was pregnant, complained of having stomach pains while at work, and went to the restroom and ended up giving birth. This is her second child. The first one was born at home.
Jesus.
So
how do you not know you're 9 months pregnant?
Yeah, I have no idea. Just living a fast and loose lifestyle like that.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe drugs involved.
So she's basically getting, it was up to a year in jail, but they gave her time served. She has to do a child parenting class. And
to say the least.
Statism. and there was something else that she had to do, like some little fine. It wasn't even like a major fine. I think it was less than $100 or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. This story like baffled my mind when I read it.
Well, the other employee came in and then looked in the bathroom over. I think it was over the top of the stall,
right?
And she was saying that she just had a bad period because I guess there was some blood on her or something. And she looked over and then saw the baby face down in the toilet.
Yeah,
that was a little bit I read about it.
So,
crazy, right? People are fucking shit, man.
Fucking animals, dude. Just pure animals. Oh my God! So here's another one. Unfortunately, it's gonna get a little depressing here for a second. Apparently, there was a school shooting yesterday in Colorado, and it was like 7 miles away.
Yeah, and I was saying like I didn't really hear that much about it. I think I saw it like one time brought up.
You know why?
No,
pistols were used.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's what I think. There were 2 handguns that were used. So we can watch the article if you guys want to watch
the video.
Yeah, watch the video. We can watch the article.
Yeah, I haven't seen really anything about it other than that one picture you just kind of showed for a second.
All right, we'll just listen to it because they do a pretty good job explaining it.
Now in that deadly school shooting just 7 miles from Columbine High School. Authorities say the 2 suspects used a number of weapons to open fire yesterday at the Highlands Ranch STEM school. They killed 1 student, wounded 8 others. Police have identified the victim as 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo. The district attorney is expressing his outrage over yet another school shooting.
And if you had suggested to anyone behind me or in this room that within 20 years and 20 miles we would have dealt with Columbine, Aurora Theater, Arapahoe High School, the shooting of Zach Parrish and 4 other deputies, we'd have thought you mad. And yet here we are again.
Alicia Cunha live at
Why?
Highlands
Why not?
Ranch in Colorado. Alicia?
Well, it just seems far-fetched. It doesn't seem
on
like...
the day he died, Kendrick Castillo was just
You ever
3
heard of LA?
days from his high school graduation, and his family is now asking for privacy as the investigation continues. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department says that they have 2 people in custody, as you mentioned, 1 adult male and 1 female who is a minor. And George Brockler, the district attorney here who you just saw, he also prosecuted the Aurora Theater shooting case. He has asked the media not to give notoriety to the suspects.
Well, maybe that was why they didn't
publicize it. You have an obligation
it
to report the name, the identity. I know you have the obligation to put out a picture, but soon, very soon,
right here.
Let us move past focusing on the identity of the suspects and their images and focus instead on the innocent victims and on this crime and the investigation itself.
Now, they'll tell you in a second. The next guy that comes up will tell you that their
The
pistols were
suspect's
used.
homes are being
2
searched,
handguns.
as is a vehicle of the adult suspect, which we are told is covered with disturbing graffiti. Investigators say the shooters are students of the
Disturbing
school.
graffiti.
The sheriff says the suspects walked into the building yesterday afternoon and got deep inside the school before they began shooting in 2 different classrooms. 9 people were shot.
We know that pistols were used in this assault. The number of weapons that were at the school and how they got in, we're not releasing because that's subject to the prosecution case. There was 2 handguns, I'll tell you that at this point.
Oh, then he just said it.
Yeah.
The United States Marine Corps has confirmed that 1 student, Brendan Biley, who is a current Hooli in the Corps delayed entry program, assisted in subduing one of the shooters. In a statement, the Marine said, quote, Brendan's courage and commitment to swiftly ending this tragic incident at the risk of his own safety is admirable and inspiring. His decisive actions resulted in the safety and protection of his teachers and fellow classmates. The STEM school, Highlands Ranch, is located about 13 miles south of Denver and 7.5 from Columbine High School, which less than 3 weeks ago.
That was kind of cool that like they commended him.
So here's the thing, man. The state is running this, right? The state is running these schools, and they don't have any so he says that they have these 3 shootings in this amount of 20-year time, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then why the fuck isn't there like fucking guards and shit there?
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are so badass as cops, like, why don't you have that? 20 years to plan that out.
And that goes directly against what the cops were saying about the private security and will security guards replace police. Well, okay, well,
exactly.
If the police are so good, why does this shit keep happening, you know? Why aren't fucking... why don't we have private security at these places?
Yeah, I mean, you could have private security from the status perspective. Why don't they have cops there? They do at a lot of schools. So, like, I don't understand... Like, this is under the government, so it's their fault. So when you go, oh, well, see, how would you stop that? Well, obviously you didn't stop it in statism, right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
You didn't already stop it this way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
So you're trying to be all smart ass and trying to come at like somebody like us, like, right? We're talking about freedom and we want to look at answers and different solutions to problems. Well, it's like, okay, well, we have tons of answers and solutions, but the statists don't want to listen to it.
Nope.
And all this shit's happening under that. So what is freedom going to be perfect? No, not at all, by no means. But the free market will regulate it out, right?
Potentially could be pretty ugly too.
Yeah, and exactly. But what's the difference between that or the state? Nothing.
Well, it looks like, so on a happier note,
real happy
it
note.
looks like, fucking Denver just voted to decriminalize magic mushrooms. So I guess what it'll do is it'll make it basically like what happened when we decriminalized marijuana over here, where it just lowers it down to the lowest priority as far as for just being enforced as a drug. So it'll probably be legal to have it. It's actually, you can legally, I guess, have it if it's over 21, or it'll be decriminalized. You probably still can't have it if you're under 21 at all.
Right.
It's probably zero tolerance on that. But that's, I mean, Colorado just leading the fucking way with drugs, man.
Yep.
I thought that shit was hilarious. You sent that to me.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts, Kenny? I heard it get all quiet all of a sudden.
No thoughts.
I just had a bad experience with mushrooms.
I'm not a fan either. So did
Yeah.
I.
I love them, dude. They're always on my pizza, and I put them in salads, and they're fucking bomb.
The first time I ever did mushrooms, I did a half-eighth, and that was fun. The second time, I did a full eighth, and I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And like, I'll never do them again. I'll never do it again. I did not have a good time. That was fucking weird, to tell you that
funny
much.
to watch.
No,
I don't even think so. It wasn't even like
and
entertaining.
I think I've told you the story about like what happened to me.
I think you have in the past.
Yeah, that was when I ended up going to church that day.
Oh, God.
No.
That's all bad.
No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I couldn't even fucking imagine.
Never again.
I don't do drugs, so I don't know.
Yeah. That was in my younger days.
Yeah.
Many moons ago.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like you can be, right? So like we were saying with free speech earlier. You can be pro free speech even though you don't think that it even exists. It's even a real thing.
Right.
Right? You can be pro drugs even if you don't do them.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you can be pro guns even if you don't own them, right?
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. It's libertarianism is definitely leave everyone alone and let them make their own decisions for themselves.
You're either pro freedom or you're not. It's
Right.
kind of like I
Right.
hate to be that black and white with it, but it is.
It is
really
that black and white.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, the state's always got the gray area, right? They're always trying to justify it. You can see it in the questions that people ask libertarians.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would we? But I don't think that. What about the roads? It's always
always
some shit.
what about
Yeah.
the roads?
Yeah, that's
It's
all.
always the main ones are the main ones are always the roads, the police, the fire. Like
You
those
don't
are.
need roads.
Yeah, get the DeLoreans going, bro.
Bring them back.
Rocking and rolling.
Right.
All right, are we good?
That's good, fellas.
All right,
we
so
burned through everything that we had.
Merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merchandise and
We got
social
merch.
media. So we got social media everywhere on pretty much every platform you could think of. Kenny, if you want to rattle those off real quick while
All
I pull
right.
up
So
the
we
merch.
got Patreon where you can go and support the channel there by subscribing. It is a paid subscription. YouTube where it is free, but with Patreon we probably will start doing exclusive stuff that only goes on Patreon.
Yeah, me and Kenny have been talking a little bit about it. We gotta get into that a little bit more.
We also have Twitter. We have Facebook, Pornhub. Can't forget that one.
Instagram.
We have Instagram. We also have
SoundCloud,
where you can download it if you can't watch it.
Yeah, so our
Listen to us in your
podcast is
ride.
always going to be on SoundCloud every week,
Right.
and same with YouTube.
So
Correct.
Available on SoundCloud as an MP3. So yeah, so if you download it, take it to go. That way you don't have to stream it. You can do that.
Yeah,
Correct.
And make sure you subscribe.
Definitely. So hit the subscribe button. That bell notification lets you know when a new video comes out. Pretty much we're right now averaging about 2 to 3 videos a week.
Yeah, about 1 to 2 right now. We
right
were
now.
doing better, but yeah,
it
been
was
busy.
hot, but
it's been
you know,
busy.
we've got other projects that we're trying to bring to you guys. So your support is very much appreciated. We also have merchandise where you can go and support the channel by purchasing T-shirts, hats, bags, thermoses.
Yep. And then you got the link right below us in the description below us. And you can also find it on, what is it?
On the Spreadshirt website. So it's going to be shop.spreadshirt.com /Grim86. And that's what you're seeing on the screen.
And
here.
also at the top of our feed on our Facebook.
Right.
We have it pinned at the top so you can find
Check it out.
Yeah.
All that dope gear.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
We even got stuff for your babies.
Mm-hmm.
I want one of these hoodies, dude.
Yeah.
I think
you say that every time, too.
I know.
I think I'm going to order a hoodie and a hat.
Right on. All right, guys. That's it for the social media, right, and all that?
Yep.
Looks good to me.
We got another photo shoot plan coming pretty soon. It'll probably be in about a month or two. You'll start seeing the pictures. What else? Shout out to Kristen.
Yeah, big shout out to Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Word.
That was awesome.
Yep. All right. Anything else you guys got? Or
No, I'm good.
All right, wrap it up.
Cool. So our wrap up this week is going to start off with spiders are assholes. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, all of them are, right?
I don't fucking like it. Go ahead.
Yep, I got a spider story real quick.
All right.
So I was on the phone with Andy from episode 5. Shout out to Andy once again. And as I was like looking out the sliding door in my back, there was a big old fucking spider on the window, and I was letting my dog out, and I opened up it. As soon as I opened up, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna come inside because when you open up a slider, they can get in. Sure enough, the fucker came in. He started coming down the window, but he was in between the frame and the window, so I couldn't quite get him. I kept trying to, as he was going down, I kept trying to get him. I got a couple of legs, and then I'm all, fucking need raid. And so I just sprayed in there. I was like hoping I got him. But dude, that motherfucker, you could see his fucking fangs.
The pincers.
God,
yeah,
no.
and all his little fur and shit. Yeah, that was for Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right back there.
I don't like it.
Typically, when I find spiders, I release them back into the wild.
Not that motherfucker in my house. Hell no, dude.
I don't.
That fucking
Now
guy.
they're going to go in Jamie's room.
Yeah.
I'm usually a pretty like let live and let live kind of a guy, but not when it comes to
Not
fucking
spiders.
spiders. No,
Hey,
I
Jamie.
don't like bugs.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't like bugs at all.
All right,
Don't
back
like
to the
them.
wrap up.
Well, okay, one thing I do find hilarious is you can actually order like 1,000 ladybugs and have them sent to somebody as a prank, and they just fucking go everywhere.
Or you can order poop from animals.
Yes, you can. Elephant
Yeah.
poop.
Yeah, we're
Male
not
poop.
going back to
That was on one of the early
segments.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is don't fuck with my exhaust, asshole. Come on, just leave us alone.
Yeah.
Don't censor me, asshole.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't use unnecessary force, asshole. That shit was fucked up.
It's all statism so far,
Yeah.
except for the spiders.
Private security is badass, asshole. I think that's pretty fucking tight.
That was cool shit.
Yeah,
Don't
it was.
spy on me, asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Stop hurting kids, asshole. And Colorado continues not to be assholes.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
All
folks.
right.
That's all we got for you this week. This has been episode 36 of the Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. We'll catch you guys next time.
Cue the music.
I'm a man, and my name is Kenny, and I can't negotiate traffic to get anywhere on time.
I'm Aaron Danger. And
He
I'm,
changes it
and I'm
real
dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I like you, and I'm not
That's
gonna hurt
true.
your feelings.
That's true.
Because we're supposed to be brothers.
We are.
But I see you like taking jabs
Oh, whatever.
and low blows to my testolitos.